Well, hello there, my dear friend. Welcome back once again to Blind Dad Does. My name is Ira, and I hope that you guys are having a very good day. Pardon me as I'm trying to catch my breath. Of course, as soon as I hit play, and there's like 10 seconds left before the beginning of the show, the countdown is going, and the cat, of course, is all like, scratch, 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 scratch. I'm trying to get out the door. I'm going to dig my way out this door if you don't let me out right now. Are you kidding me? You've been sitting in here for an hour and a half, cat. And as soon as I hit the dang live button and I have 10 seconds left on the countdown, that's when he wants out. Yeah. That's our cat. Pretty much in a nutshell. Hello, everybody. Fox and Bull. So lovely to have you here as always. Jolene, of course. Ali, of course. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Khaleesi, thank you so much for the host. I'm so grateful that you are here as well. And I hope that everybody out there is having a really good night. I am very, very hyped up. I'm excited about tonight because I'm going to reveal something to you all. Reveal. The revelation has cometh for you all. I'm going to lay it down on you. You ready for it? I am at 2.9 for the average viewers. I'm literally this close to getting affiliate. And so you guys tuning in with me tonight, oh God, I think you're actually going to put me over the edge. And you're going to make me cry if I get there, man. I'm telling you. The revelation has begun. Exactly. So, yeah, I had to have something to do, right? Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of art again tonight, and a little bit of just chatting around. And I just, I'm in a great mood tonight. I'm trying to do what I can do to keep myself rolling in the good mood and all that kind of good stuff. It's been a day. It's been a heck of a day. I got a little bit of sleep, not a whole lot, not as much as I would have wanted to, but that's okay. That happens, right? Especially with me. That happens. It's kind of a normal thing for me to not sleep a whole lot. Yeah, and Jolene is over there with our Seth and playing Magic the Gathering as she is observing what's going on. She's all like, I must watch to make sure you don't say the wrong things, husband. Don't reveal things, husband. Yeah, Anyways, I love you, baby. So, she loves it. Magic the Gathering, it's a fun game. I used to play it all the time, and I've got a massive collection of cards. I don't play it as much as I used to, though. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult for me to sit there for the length of time that we usually play the games for, because we all kind of tend to not try to completely blast each other as we're building things up. We kind of like wait a little bit until the armies have built up, and then we do these things on like these massive scales. But the main thing is that like people hate playing with me because the way that I've built my decks is to get like as much life as I possibly can. So there are times where like you start off with 20 life, and most people are kind of stuck right around that zone. And there's times where like within just, 20 rounds of the game, I'm sitting there with over 1,000 life, and they're like, what's the point? I'm not going to play this anymore with you. Bleh. So, it's fun though. It's fun. I build decks to just piss people off. Yeah, so tonight we're going to try to do a little bit of art again. Let me go ahead and bring the program up here onto the live screen for you guys and see if it's functional. Is it there? Yes, it is. Good. That is good. Got a little bit of the random music going on, so I don't know what's going to end up happening tonight, but we'll see. If you guys are curious about something that I've been working on of late, I kind of had this weird idea come into my head of a creature that maybe is like one of those kind of things where it's like, oh, he's dark, he's evil, he's ooh, but then he's sitting here with like a pair of glasses on and stuff, and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I haven't finished with it yet. I'm just kind of like working on it still, but kicking around with the idea of it and seeing what I can have happen. But I'm not really prepped to work on him tonight. I will get to him at another time, but just showing you guys what I've been working on of late. I've also I know Fox and Bull, you guys have talked about this image here as the Hat Man, and I know that you guys are interested in doing this like maybe as a commission piece or a print or something like that. So I've actually kind of been reworking it slightly to make it more print ready. So just so you guys see, I have been working on things, for doing commission kind of stuff. So, but yeah, he's just about ready to go, I think. And once he is, then I'm kind of looking into what I can do as far as prints goes. And I think what I can do with this one in particular is, I'm trying to find a company that is, reputable as far as doing prints goes. I'm out of the loop as far as that kind of stuff goes. I'm clueless, honestly. I need to close it. There you go. Thank you. He did not want to go away. So, I'm trying to find a company that is mayhap reputable and, at the same time, cheap enough to be viable to be able to do prints through. I think I've got a couple of places that are lined up, that I can kind of start opening that door with. And I'm excited about it. I am excited about it. I'm very scared about it, but I'm excited about it at the same time. So we'll see what ends up happening as we progress. I also spent it was practically the whole day yesterday putting a new monitor arm together. And I did not think it was going to be as much of a process as it ended up being. It was pretty hard. My main problem is that, okay, so the monitor arm that I had worked, but I had to switch desks around. And so at this point in time, I'm using a desk that is really, really wide. It's very long and it's really wide compared to the one that I had. So the one that I had, the monitor arm, I could put onto the back of it with a clamp, and it would hold it, and I could get it close enough to me so that I could still be able to work as I would need to work, right? But when I moved desks, that clamp, no matter how long I could do that arm, the monitor would still be like a foot and a half away from from my face. You know what I mean? That's not nearly close enough for me to be able to do any kind of artwork with. So I had to try to figure something else out. So what I did when I switched the desks around was I had the monitor arm attached to the side of an end table, which was then sitting on top of the desk. And it worked, but kind of scary at the same time because, your monitor's heavy, right? And the more weight you put onto the fulcrum, the more, unsteady it's going to be. It's going to be unwieldy and unbalanced. So I was kind of paranoid because every time I moved it, I could hear that wood cracking just slightly. And I'm like, one of these days, I'm going to move this monitor and it's going to end up either slamming into my face or slamming into my crotch. And both these things are very important to me. I don't want to have to lose either one of them or damage either one of them. So, right, the more it pulls on it, exactly. So what I ended up doing was I got a hold of a grommet situation for the monitor arm, so that I could kind of put it directly into the desk, just dig it down into the desk and have it be held there by a nice strong bolt. Well, here's the issue. Oh, you couldn't find that Artist Alley Facebook group. The one. Gotcha. Okay, we'll go figure. I did find an Artists Alley international group or something like that. And actually through them, I found a couple of places that might be okay as far as printing goes. I think Cat Print was one of them. And there's also a local one to us here that might be viable as well. But I'm not sure. Ooh, you're in chat in two places. Oh, yes, you can actually say hi to Ollie if you want to come over here and say hello. If you guys would like to see Ollie. Huh? Oh, you look good. You're fine. There you go. There's an Ollie. There's the real life Ollie for you guys. You guys are getting the revelation away from the VTuber thing, but that is my Ollie B right there. So anyways, yeah, so there's also a local place that is very supportive of different disabled artists and that kind of thing, and apparently they do prints through there too. So maybe that'll be an option for me too. So see it. Yes, they are cute. Very cute. Indeed. Very cute. But they're having a bit of an anxiety day today, though. And so, I told them, hey, come on in here and hang out with me and, just do you. It's fine. So, yeah, also the real voice. Yeah. So, anyways, so there's a couple options that are there. So anyways, okay. So the grommet situation, let me go back to that. Okay. So to do the grommet, I had to dig a hole into the desk. Now, this desk is super old. Okay. I think this desk is over 120 years old, if I remember correctly. And it's made out of like teak. It is super hard wood. Okay. And, I had to use the drill that I've had for a while to try to dig the hole into it with the bit, right? Okay. Let me tell you, Black & Decker cordless drills are the crappiest things I've ever encountered in my life. Oh my God. Okay. So I've got like this 9.6 volt cordless drill, right? I charged the thing for like 4 hours and I got all of 15 seconds worth of use out of it before the battery died. It didn't even cut through the desk. I had to go borrow somebody else's drill to cut through the desk. Oh my God. It was ridiculous. So finally I did get it through. I got a good enough hole through so that I could put the bolt into it. And yeah, I mean, it was like, it got maybe a quarter of an inch through the wood. I mean, like I said, this wood is super hard wood. It's crazy. The desk is very heavy. I'm kind of also paranoid because I'm a tall guy, right? I'm 6 foot tall, and this desk is kind of lowish, so it has this big drawer on it that kind of like takes up the whole thing. Like the whole front of it is this big drawer, and I like to keep that drawer. I mean, I know I could take it out and kind of make some more room for my legs and stuff like that, but I'd like to keep the drawer to be able to use a drawer. It'd be kind of nice, right? Well, what I ended up having to do was I got these like bed risers, like that you could put your bed on, and I've got the legs of this desk on top of these 3-inch bed risers, and I will say I'm kind of a little paranoid about that situation, but it works. Yeah, almost an impact drill would have worked really well for the situation, just for sure. Even your Black & Decker lasts longer. See, I mean, that's the problem is like I bought the thing brand new, and like even from the time that I bought it, it has had like this crappy charge on it. It fails. It's nuts. I actually originally bought it because we were trying to build a greenhouse so that we could do aquaponics, and I couldn't make use of it. It was a nightmare. So I don't know, maybe it was just kind of like defective from the get-go, probably, knowing my luck. Gee, Ira bought something that's not defective? No way. How does that happen? Not my experience, that's for sure. But anyways, so I did finally get the grommet hole cut, and I got the monitor arm mounted. So now it feels a lot more secure, and I can actually bring it a little bit closer to myself than what I could before. So I'm kind of excited to get things going tonight. I did stream for about an hour last night just to kind of like horse around with it a little bit, which turned out to be a really good stream. Somebody ended up rating me with a really big rate, and that was really kind of them to do. That's what pushed me up to being 2.9 right now. Oh yeah. I was going crazy. It was nuts. It really was. But the monitor arm is mounted. I hope that it's going to hold. I mean, it's in teak. I don't think that it's going to break anytime soon. The weight of this monitor, this desk is kind of looking at it like, right. Yeah, that's not a problem, dude. So yeah, I am. I'm so close, and it's really frustrating because it's like I'm in that conundrum situation where one of the things that I'm loving to do is to do these art streams, right? But what I've been told is that when you stream and you're trying to get that affiliate status with the 3.0 average viewers, so on and so forth, that the best thing that you can do is to do shorter streams, and that way the average stays up through the whole stream. And that makes sense, right? But at the same time, if you're doing art, you want to dedicate more time into being able to show what you're doing. It's a learning process. There's a big process to creating artworks. It's not just, oh, hey, half hour here, I'm going to just squirt something out, there are people who could do that. There are artists out there who could do that. I know there's like a lady who does like these enema arts, and she'll literally just like shove an enema up there, hover over the paper, and it's there's your artwork. Like literally. Yeah, I know. Ollie's crying over here now, but and people pay good money for it. I mean, people pay like $50,000-$60,000 for her pieces of art, man. It's like, it's crazy. It's like, I could do that. Okay, next art stream. Blind Dad Enema art. No, I don't think that's... would that be against TOS? With hydro dipping, yeah. Right, exactly. Now when you got to mess with the epoxy and stuff, right? Because that stuff takes time. So what I'm hoping is that, I can get the affiliate status, because then I won't be as concerned about coming on and doing these long, 5, 6, 7 hour streams, because I'm not going to have to worry about it at that point. It's just kind of like that frustrating conundrum. I kind of dealt with the same kind of stuff with YouTube though, too, in an opposite way, because with YouTube, back when I got partnership with YouTube, it was a matter of having over 1,000 hours worth of watch time on your channel and having like a certain age of the channel. I think it was like your channel had to be more than 30 days old or something like that to be able to get partnership. So I was able to get it reasonably quickly. I think it took me about 1.5 years total to end up getting partnership, but this was like way back in like 2010. And so I've been partnered with them ever since. They have since changed things now so that you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours worth of watch time on your channel to get partnership over at YouTube. And that's a lot, that's a lot for somebody that's just walking into the situation trying to get partner over there. That the 4,000 hours worth of watch time can be done pretty reasonably depending on like how long your streams are or how long your videos are. But that 1,000 subscribers, boy, that's a killer. I mean, that took me a while to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm at like 5,500 subscribers over there on YouTube now. But they're kind of like all there from my radio days. So, none of them actually watch these art streams and that kind of stuff. They're not interested in it because that's not what they were there for. So, Enema Dad, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hope that with the affiliate status that I'm going to be able to do like a lot more of what I want to do, which is to come on here, gab with everybody for, hours at a time and just do art. People can filter in and out all they want, and that'd be awesome. You know what I mean? Right. Here, I can maybe show that one on the stream here. So, Ollie says this is probably what I'm going to be like when I get affiliate. I have to agree. Yeah, definitely. Right. Much less stressful on me for sure. For sure. So, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm hoping that maybe after today's stream, we'll get there. And I want to make sure, again, to thank all of you guys deeply for being as accepting of me as you have been, because this is something that I've wanted to do for years. When I was on doing the radio stuff, this is the kind of thing that I was shooting for, having the community input, the communication with people, the closeness, the community getting together, with each other and that kind of stuff, and it happened sometimes, but just, it was so rare, it really was. It was such a rarity for me. So I'm grateful that you guys have been so embracing of me here. I'm not used to it. I'm really not. I'm not used to it. And I don't know exactly how to take it other than just to say thank you. And I hope that I keep making it worth your while to be here with me. So all that being said, let me get started a little bit on the art so that people aren't just staring at the blank canvas here and this talking head on your screen. So for those of you guys just tuning in for the first time, welcome. Where have you been? I've been here forever. Where have you been? My goodness, I haven't seen you in nigh on a grasshopper's age. Oh, I don't know. Let's watch as Ira goes a little bit crazy. But anyways, I am Ira. This is Blind Dad Does, and I do hope that you guys are having a very, very good night. When you hit affiliate, I'll go dance outside in my T-Rex costume. That would be fantastic. That would be awesome. I would be so thrilled if you guys would do something like that. So I am a blind guy. Again, for those of you guys just tuning in, never seeing me before, I am a blind guy. I do have a severe vision problem called Keratoconus, which is basically makes it so that my eyes are pyramid shaped instead of egg shaped. This is how I see the world. This is a picture of the moon, and as you can see, there are multiple images of the moon superimposed over each other and stuff like that. This is not due to overexposure. This is what my eyes see. It is yeah, kind of an ugly situation, but I try to do what I can with art to be creative, to be like as good as my eyes will let me in the given moment. You know what I mean? So what I do is I start off by coming into Photoshop, which is the program that I primarily use. And you guys will see that currently I have a very weird looking brush. This brush is kind of a special one for me because it has a weird shape, weird texture to it and all that kind of good stuff. It kind of looks like Kermit screaming into the night that Miss Piggy like got together with Fozzie or something like that. I don't know. He's kind of horrified about something. The other tool that I use here in Photoshop is right here. It's called the pattern stamp tool. With the pattern stamp tool, what you can do is up here at the top, you can choose an image that you're going to make a pattern out of. Okay. Now, most people just use this to make like little flower patterns and that kind of thing that they use, you know, to kind of like add to their paintings or add to their photos, you know, and that kind of stuff, which is fine. That's what it was built for. But there are a couple of little tricks that you can do with this particular tool that can make it so that it can kickstart your imagination in a few different ways. So the other thing with this brush that I need to mention is that every time that I push it down onto the tablet here, or click it with the mouse, whichever case you want to do, it kind of jitters it. It makes it go a little scattered, little weird, you know, it kind of bounces it around and that kind of stuff. So what I do is I start off with a blank canvas with a color, right? I'm not usually doing black or white. I just do a color. The color either can or cannot make any difference. Okay. And I'll explain why that is here. With this tool, if you come up here to the opacity and you have the opacity set to a lower amount, then whenever you like scatter the pattern onto the canvas here, it's going to make it more or less blending with the background color that you have as your canvas. Okay. If you have the opacity set to 100%, well, then the color of the canvas isn't going to matter at all because it's going to overwrite anything that's there. I hope that makes sense as to the difference of whether or not your canvas is going to, you know, matter color wise or not. So the other thing that I do is I've got programmed into the pattern stamp tool different images that I've created, that other people have created, that have like color palettes that I have a fascination with. And so with this tool, like let's say I bring this one up here. This has nice bright colors for right now. With this tool, if you have everything basically set to how it is at default, then when you run your pattern tool over the canvas, it is going to literally just make a copy of that palette or the pattern that's there. And as you can see, it's even repeating and everything, right? That's not what we want to do though. We don't want to steal somebody's art. That's not our purpose here. What we want to do is we want to go in here to where it says Impressionist. We click that button, and then when I run the palette or the pattern stamp tool across, you're going to see it pulls the colors from the palette, or the pattern, sorry, pulls the colors from the pattern, and it just lays them out in random sort of ways because of how this brush works. Okay. And from here, it's a matter of doing a little bit of cloud watching to try to see what you can see in this paint splotch chaos that you can make use of. So let's say, for instance, I do see something here that I could make use of. I can turn my opacity of this brush up to 100%. I'll go to a white color so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And like, so right here, I see maybe the outline of a head, and right here could be like the start of a formation of a body, right? I don't know the story of what's going on here with this situation yet, but I see that there's like a beginning of something. And then it's just a matter of, well, I could take this pattern that I'm seeing here and kind of just, you know, starting doing a silhouette, you know, to lay out maybe what is going to be happening as the scene progresses and so on and so forth. So you guys can see now, you know, this figure is now here compared to what it was here. So that's what this is all about. It's just a matter of trying to like discern where things are in the randomness. I might look at a cloud and see a bunny rabbit. You might look at the same cloud and see a dragon, but we're both correct because we're both looking at the same cloud. It's just a matter of how we're individually perceiving it. So this kind of technique is good for people who are kind of like beginner artists to kind of work through ideas that they might want to like come up with, you know, if they're having a difficult time, you know, kind of figuring out what they want to do or what things might look like or things like that. You know, it's a good way to like practice building anatomy out of nothing, you know, because you have to start drawing the perspectives and that kind of stuff. This technique is also really good for people who are a little dry, you know, like we as artists all go through those periods of time where we're feeling a bit dry. We don't have the kickstart of the imagination happening at that moment in time because, you know, we're tired or whatever, but we still have that urge to create, you know, we want to make something, but we just don't know what the frick to draw, you know? So this method is good to like generate ideas out of nothingness that you can then, you know, still continue doing pieces of art with. So, hey, Robin, how you doing, sister? So let me see if I can get a little something going here. Actually, I'm going to turn the opacity on this down. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. About 20%. We'll just see. We'll just slap some things around, see what wants to come out. And right now I've got it set to be like a portraiture kind of a canvas, but we can like rotate the canvas around too, because there could be like something that's there on the rotation as well, you know. I don't know, we can like flip it around this way and I can reset the view a little bit here. There we go. Reset the view a little bit here and see if there's something there. I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, one thing that kind of pokes into my mind here, let me start a new layer here, is kind of like maybe an alien creature of some kind here. Let me up that. Yeah, kind of like an alien creature of some kind here. Like right here is his head. This could be like part of his body right here, you know, and we're kind of like maybe seeing him in a storm or something. I don't know, something weird along those lines. You never know, right? You never know. Dog sitting your grand dog. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Which kiddo abandoned their dog with you? Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can figure out something else though. I'll run with a different thing. I'll still keep it here on this landscapey kind of a thing, just to see if any landscape wants to come out. I haven't done a landscapey kind of a picture for a while, so let's see. Hmm. Right. Yeah, exactly. Go figure. Okay, so I've got something that I might try to run with here. I totally did the wrong button there, didn't I? There we go. Need a new layer, not a new group. Let me see. I might be able to come up with a little bit of something off of this, but we'll give it a shot. We'll give it our best whirl and see what goes on. I'm kind of seeing maybe like this could be like a cliff wall here or something like that, you know, or like just the foreground of something. We'll see what we can get worked out here. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's cool. That's cool. This music is a little weird. I've never heard this one before. I've got like this music pack that I haven't really listened to all the songs with. I need to go through it a little bit and see if there's anything in it that I'm not interested in. This one's okay though. It's not too bad. Oh, I did the wrong thing there. There we go. My buttons on my tablet feel a little bit like off kilter to me. I need to get used to their positioning here again. I'm almost wanting to do like some kind of a scene with like a robot or something like that. You know, just for the different kind of a thing. I've been doing a lot of like humans and such. So I don't know. We can see what we can come up with here. So right now I'm just kind of like, I'm outlining. I'm not worried about like direct shapes or anything along those lines. I'm just kind of like trying to figure out maybe a good story that I could use based on this set of images that I'm looking at here, you know? Because I don't know yet. I don't know what's going on here quite yet. But we'll get it figured out. It's one of the things with this technique, you know, you just never know what you're going to get to come out. And that's okay. That's okay. You see. Kind of trying to do a little bit of an outline based on something that I'm seeing with it, you know? All right, let me see if I can. Okay, so a little thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to select the whole image, select the whole canvas here. I'm going to press Control and Shift and C to copy all of the layers as a merged layer. I'm then going to hit Control V to paste that down. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I do want to keep the base layer complete, you know, as a point of reference. So we'll put that right here. And I'm going to turn that layer off again, just so that there's like a reference point for what we've been doing so far, because there's a couple of things that I need to do to this to get it to kind of like work how I want it to look. And so that means I've got to kind of like do some selections and transforming and stuff like that. And I can't do that unless these layers are kind of merged down. So, see, I'm going to rotate this downward a little bit, kind of bring this down here a little bit, rotate it down a little bit, kind of come down here. How's this look? Yeah. That's a little bit better. Okay, so let me go into there. I'll select another new layer, and I'll just work it out from here then as well. I do kind of want to like brighten up the background a bit too. Right now I've got kind of like this more darker tone to it, and that's okay. But I think that I want to do this image as kind of a I don't know, kind of more of a brighter tone. So maybe if I go up into here, kind of, yeah, that might be a little bit better like that. Just kind of like change the tone of it just a little bit, you know. Kind of like almost as a sunrise, sunset, you know, kind of a thing. I'm not too worried about like making it too fancy right now. I'm again trying to just tone it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah. I did, yeah, I did. I'm trying to get used to it. The pen on it is really, it's super nice compared to the other one. Let me show you guys. So this is the pen. It's a little bit, it fits my fingers a lot easier. And I'll tell you, you know, I was kind of joking with Jolene the other day. You can tell I definitely have like artist hands because of the way that my middle finger is shaped. You guys can maybe take a look at it here and see. I've got that divot in the fingers, you know, from holding the pen. So yeah, definite artist hand going on. But this is the tablet here that I've got. Yeah, I can turn it the proper way. There we go. It's really nice. This wheel right here, it's kind of it's a nice scroll wheel that I can use to change the size of the brush and stuff, and I can change the opacity kind of like on the fly and stuff. It makes it really, it's a lot nicer. Oh goodness, it's a lot nicer. But I haven't used it a whole lot as of yet. Like this is only the second time that I've sat here trying to use it, so I'm kind of like, the buttons are still a little off kilter for me and stuff like that. I'm still trying to get a little bit used to it, but yeah, I really like it a lot. And I got it really cheap. Like, these things are super cheap compared to Wacom's. But I really had to get away from that Wacom because it was killing me. It really was. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've used Wacom's for years. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I started off with. But it's like the way that it was working in my hands, it was difficult because the whole pad itself was set up to be the screen, right? So if I tried to do anything towards the bottom area of things, my hand would just cramp like crazy. It would start to really cramp up like mad. And, you know, that's not fun to do, right? That's not fun. That's not fun art. So this one, it's a lot more comfortable. There's a lot more like space around the edge so that, I can let my hand rest on it and feel a lot more comfortable for a longer period of time, I think. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to really getting a lot of use out of it. That's for sure. Okay, so I've got kind of like this basic idea starting to form, you know? And so from here, it's kind of, oops, sorry about the weird noise. I got to get a different microphone arm, guys. I really do. This microphone arm is like, it's bad. I've had it for years. And when I bought it, it was only $17 to begin with. And I mean, it's noisy. It's like falling apart. I can't keep it clamped down. Like I'll sit here in the middle of a stream sometimes and it just decides to start to pop off. So I've got to clamp it back down again and just, it's frustrating. anyway, so I've got kind of like a couple of little basic ideas that I want to start kind of like building off of from here. So that's what I'm going to look at doing here at this point. I'm going to start doing it by like drawing out highlights and shadows and stuff to kind of like give it some of that depth and realistic feel, you know? So I'm going to kind of color in a little bit to where I think that its body shape is going to be. And I think I'm going to use the hard round brush for the edges here because, again, we're working with a machine here, right? So you would expect that a machine would have more like hard edges to it compared to like a human and that kind of thing. So that's what I'll work with here real quick. I'm going to up the opacity on it just a tad too. And I'm not going for any like distinction here too. Like bear that in mind. I'm not like looking for exactly what this thing is going to look like or anything like that as of yet. I'm just kind of like randomly splatting some paint down in the ways that I think might look kind of cool if I work with them in the end and stuff. You got 32 or 31 followers. Nice, Napkins. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. That is really cool. That is really cool. You're going to get there, man. You're going to get there really quick. I think you have an excellent stream. It almost has kind of like a leonine kind of a shape to it at the moment, you know? Like kind of almost a cat-like texture to it or something at the moment. Or Batman. Side view of Batman here. Could kind of be a Batman thing going on. Broke down Batman. Oh gosh. Well, thank you for letting me know, Ollie, that I was just showing my face to everybody. Here you go. Now you guys can see what I'm working with. Good God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's terrible. Y'all need to let me know about it ahead of time. Oh, did he? I missed it. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Okay, you guys need to let me know about it more frequently. I will blame the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I totally did not intend to have that happening. My deepest apologies. But you guys know I love you.
Hi, it's Liam. I could not chat on my tablet.
Oh, well, thank you, Liam. Thank you. Hey, how you doing? I hope that you're having a good night and a good time. And thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. I'm trying to figure out like how I want the edges of this to be. I'm not in particular looking for a distinct shape kind of a thing at the moment. This is kind of like more of just like a flow kind of a thing. But kind of almost thinking like it's a broke down robot, like in a post-apocalyptic situation or something like that. I don't know. Let me take away the Batman chin a little bit here. Give back cowboy hat. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. But I love you. Well, I don't gotta love you, Ollie. I don't gotta love you. Okay. So this is kind of an interesting shape. This is kind of an interesting little silhouette for the this robotic kind of a creature that I'm thinking of here. I do think, though, I'm going to kind of like make it a little bit more of a rounded edge like this, as coming out instead of in, maybe. Is it Quarf? I'm not sure what Quarf is. Hey, Miso. How you doing? How you doing? Nice to see you again. I hope that you're having a really good night. We're kind of just getting started with things here. Trying to see what we can work out with this little situation here. For those of you guys just tuning in, welcome. My name is Ira. This is Blind Dad Does. Right now, Blind Dad is trying to attempt to do a little bit of artwork in a different sort of a way, different sort of a situation. Hello, Craig. Ollie has given me my Craig back. Craig right here. For those of you guys that are curious, Craig is my therapy bear. Yes, I have a therapy bear. I have days where I just feel like I want to like vent to something that isn't my wife and isn't my kids. So this is Craig. He's my friend. So yep. He hangs out here with me. I gave him to Ollie here a little bit ago because they were having a little bit of anxiety issues. So Craig was with them for a little while, and now they have returned Craig to me, to my loving embrace. Oh, Quark from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I thought that's maybe what you were going with there, Robin, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, I have this like idea that I want to do maybe like this post-apocalyptic sort of a scene with a dead, like almost maybe a battle robot or something like that, you know, sitting here in the midst of something, whether or not it's a field or something. I don't know yet, but that's kind of the feel that I'm getting for it. So we'll see what works out. As you guys know, this is always a little bit of a process for me to try to get whatever wants to come out, you know, but yeah, we'll see what happens. So right now, I'm literally just working with the silhouette, trying to figure out like where its edges are going to be and get an idea of the story behind this thing. Yeah, you were close. You were close. I was thinking that's who you were meaning, but I wasn't sure. You know, I'm like, maybe you're aware of something that I'm not. But yeah. For those of you that don't know, I am a Star Trek freak. I love Star Trek. I love everything about Star Trek. I even love the fact that Star Trek is a post-apocalyptic story. Did you guys know that? It is. It is the truth. Star Trek is actually a post-apocalyptic story. In the year 2200 or so, humanity destroyed itself in a nuclear apocalypse, and what you see in Star Trek actually is the offshoots of humanity basically trying to piece itself back together again and coming together as one after the mutually assured destruction decided to take place. So, yeah, for those of you guys not aware, now you are. So I always like pointing out the fact that, yeah, Star Trek is post-apocalyptic. Because I'm a geek. What can I say? It do what I do. All right. Let's see. I really like using this tablet. This is really nice. It's very comfortable to do for me. Yeah, I mean, it's weird when you think about it, right? But yeah, technically speaking, that is what it is. Okay, so I've got kind of like a pretty good baseline to work with here. So what I'm gonna do, and this is you're gonna see a couple of different things here from me that I don't usually do too much, but you guys will maybe get a kick out of things here if I can get it to work correctly. That's gonna be the thing, if I can get things to work correctly here. So Tater, hey, welcome. How you doing? It's good to see you, my friend. I'm glad that you're here with me tonight. I'm just kind of getting a roll on things here and seeing what's going to be coming out of this little bit of goodies. I need to find the right directory on my hard drive here. Where is it? It is not that one. It is this one. Okay. So some of the little things that you can do to get your images to kind of come out a little bit more like, number one, a little bit more of a touch of like realism to them, but also at the same time a little bit less work overall for you, is you can use photo textures for it. And a lot of people poo-poo on the idea of them being involved with things and calling it art, but quite frankly, I don't care. Screw you. For me, I do look at it as a situation of, you know, every artist kind of needs to have their little things that they do to work with, you know, their tools of the trade, so to speak. And in my case, because of my vision issues, sometimes doing things like this actually does help a fair amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this photo texture in. I'm going to set the photo texture itself onto soft light, and you guys can already see, like, whoa, it's making a little bit of a difference, right? So there are a couple of things that I can do with this. Number one, I can go into the masking options, and I'm going to set it so that it is on the soft brush here. I'm going to first off set it so that this brush is on 100% opacity, and I'm going to basically color out the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. It is gone, no longer exists. No one even knew that it was ever there. Yeah, except for you guys. You guys know the secret. Oh, yeah. They have to wear a muzzle, so they're giving me the side eye. Yeah, I can imagine. So now I'm going to set the opacity back to about 20% on this brush. And then I'm going to slowly bring that texture back in certain, like, areas, you know what I mean? So, like, for instance, I saw that there was this kind of cool little light effect going on here in the background with this guy. So I can make use of that by, you know, drawing it back in a little bit, you know? And this, like I said, this is just a way to, like, help you to, like, build on the things that you're already doing. You know, doing these textures, it's not appropriate if you don't yet know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, then you can kind of give it that little extra punch that can make a big difference in how your artwork overall looks. You know what I mean? That feel of it can get that little touch of realism that wasn't there originally, you know, and that can be very difficult to draw out on your own. So it's not like it's a matter of, oh, I can just slap a couple of textures down and be done with it. No, you've got to have an idea of what is supposed to be there first. You know what I mean? So you see, like, I just brought it back, like in these little zone right here, you know, just giving that little extra bit of an oomph, you know, to kind of get things started a little bit. So how absolute dare, mother. Yes. So what you stuffing your face with tonight there, Bull? Or is it Fox? I'm assuming it's Bull, but okay, so now that I have that one laid out, now I can go ahead and look for maybe a secondary one as well to kind of add to it a little bit. This time around, I'm going to do something a little bit different with it. Okay, so give me a moment as I look through what I have that might fit in well with this. You got to have kind of like a critical artistic eye when it comes to adding textures in. You can't just like slap it down and hope for the best kind of a thing. You've got to kind of like have this idea going into it of what you would like to ultimately do with it. So let's say I use something like this. Okay. And again, it looks a little weird, right? It looks a little strange at the moment. I'm going to kind of like take it over the edge of the canvas all the way. I'm going to go ahead and hit accept, and I'm going to, again, kind of like erase the whole thing. Or, well, what might be a better idea? Give me a second here. Let me see. Let me delete that mask. I'm going to delete that mask out. What I can try to do is something a little bit different. Let's go with color range selection. And I'll go with this kind of more of a white color here. Turn the fuzziness up just a little bit. Hit OK. And then I can invert the selection. And then I can hit the delete button. Oh, it's not going to let me because I need to draw on it. Now I can hit the delete button. There we go. All right. So you guys can see maybe a little bit about what's happening here. Okay. So now what I can do is go ahead and put on a layer mask. I can then erase everything out with this layer mask. Right? So that's all gone now. Okay. And now on the layer mask as well, I can kind of slowly, if I put the opacity onto a lower level, I can slowly start building in some of that cloud texture that was there. You see? I'm going to set it onto maybe soft light. Let's see. How does that look? Yeah, that's not bad. So again, kind of like that little extra touch that's there, you know? A little extra something that's there, right? And that's good enough for a start. Again, that's just something for my mind and my eyes to work with, to run with at this point, you see? This is not a finalized product at all. At all. Steaks. Oh, goodness. I am so in the mood for a good steak. I am indeed. So in the mood for a good steak. But, you know, poor. Us po folk. I gotta make that Twitch money now. So I can eat steak and lobster or something like that. Yeah, totally. Okay, So now I have this ground sitting right here too. And what I want to do with that is sort of add in, again, a little bit of oomphiness to it. Because right now it's just bleh, right there, you know? So let me see what I can do with that. Do I have something that might work appropriately here? Maybe, I don't know. I was kind of hoping I maybe had a bit of a cobblestone texture. Let's try through here. I have got so many stock images. Oh my God, you guys. It's crazy. I probably have a good 12 or 13,000 stock images saved on my hard drive here. So it's kind of a matter of trying to peek through and see what might look good there, you know? Yeah, something like this might work. Let's see what this does. Let's just see what this does. Bring this over to here. Slide this over here. This might work. It could work. Make sure I'm covering everything here. All right, we'll go with the soft light again. Soft light works really well as a blending mode for this kind of a thing, because it allows the texture to come through without like actually adding much of anything to it all, you know? So again, I'm going to do the layer mask. I'm going to make sure that I'm on black so that I can, and I need to do the opacity back at 100% so I can make sure that I'm erasing all of the stuff that was around here, right? And then I can just kind of like gently start bringing it in just to add again that little bit of like texture hint to this whole thing. Okay, so I do see that this texture is not quite right. Let me bring it back again. So what I'm going to have to do is actually warp the texture. So what we'll do then is we will select the texture. Where are we at here? Let me apply that mask. Nope, I don't want to actually apply it because I've got the whole thing deleted. Never mind. I can select the layer. I'll do warp under transform. Will that work? Why are you not working? What is your problem here, dude? I need the transform. Why are you not transforming? Did my computer lock up a little bit on me? Nope. Never mind. There we go. Okay, will you work now? Okay, now maybe now it will. Yeah, now it will. Okay. Sorry guys. Sometimes Photoshop is a little wonky. Right, we'll see how that works now. So I'll go back over into the layer mask, and I will try to work that one out from here. So let me make sure I'm on black. Yeah, okay. And then I need to set the opacity to about 20%. We'll see how well this works out then. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, let me go ahead and do this then. I am going to create another new layer. Okay, and this time I'm going to use the clone tool. Get on clone tool. There we go. I'm going to make sure that it's on a soft brush. If you don't do soft brushes with the clone tool, it can definitely look really, really scary. You can get some very scary results. So I'm going to set it to, let's do 20% again, or so, somewhere in that zone. And I'm going to then make sure that I select the layer where this texture is. Okay, I'm going to hit the Alt key. I'm going to select in the area in the zone, and then I'm going to go back to that layer that I just created. And then I can start kind of cloning that texture in a little bit, right? And don't worry about like how it looks right now. The reason why it's kind of like more glowy and white at the moment is because it is set on normal opacity or normal layer mode. But we will handle that here in just a moment. There you go. With the soft light, now you can see that it's different. Right? And so then what I can do is I can come back over here, select a different area, and just sort of like start laying things around over in here too. You know, I'm not like, and again, like it's very harsh right now, right? But I'm just doing this to get the texture in that I can then modify and manipulate from there. Right, so good enough. We'll go ahead and work with it from there. So I'll go back to brush mode. So you can see like at this point in time, like it's definitely getting more of that like feel that there is definitely a story that's taking place here. What that story is, we don't know yet, right? But it's got definitely a story that's taking place compared to when we first started out, right? Because when all this started out, it's literally just this, you know, this is what we began with. And at this point in time, we're at this. This is not bad, right? This is not a bad start for a decent storytelling kind of a picture. And that's kind of like what I want you guys to pick up with all of this stuff is these different techniques that I've learned over the years to help, you know, just bring about some kind of way for anybody to do this. You know, like I'm a blind guy, you know, and yet this looks pretty decent, you know, at least to me. I don't know. I'm the blind one. You guys tell me. I'm going to grab a drink here real quick. I need to let my hand rest for a minute here. I will say though, with this different tablet, my hand is not nearly as sore as it was using the Wacom. But hey, Lady Paints a lot. How you doing? How you doing? You're here and this is looking cool. Well, cool. I appreciate that you're enjoying it. I'm giving it my best whirl, you know, giving it my best shot that I can. And I think it's turning out interesting. I mean, again, for a guy who's blind and it started off with the weird paint splotch like this, you know, I don't think it's too bad so far, but we've got a long way to go. You know, we're not done yet. We just kind of like laying out some of the texturing and stuff like that to help get things like more appropriate and under control and all that kind of good stuff. So the one thing to remember when it comes to like doing any kind of artwork really is that, you know, mistakes happen and mistakes are okay. And sometimes out of those mistakes, you can make some really interesting things, you know? So it's like, it's not about like what you do in that like detailed minutia kind of a stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's more about like what what you can bring about in the overall feel of everything, you know, because that's got importance to it, you know. Hey Smugsy. Hey Smugsy. How you doing tonight? Yeah, mistakes are opportunities, exactly. Still here just on video chat so the grandkids can tell their doggy goodnight. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. An arbiter. An arbiter from what? I'm curious on that one. I'm not familiar with that one. I know arbiter from like Star Trek, the arbiter ship class. I'm not sure which arbiter though you're meaning otherwise. Just out of curiosity. So what I need to do is I need to kind of like add in a little bit of coloring into the rocky destroyed kind of a texture here, just to help it match into the background a little bit better, you know, just a tad. Doesn't need to be much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the brush onto color dodge, and I'm going to make sure that the opacity is set low, because with color dodge is super powerful, right? It is super powerful, but it is very, very easy to completely screw up with it. You know what I mean? So like it gets out of control pretty quickly, you know? There, just even that little bit of thing is pretty decent, you know. It's a good way to kind of get things set a little bit, you know. So you can see it kind of blends in with the background a little bit better, you know, a little bit better than what it did. And of course, like I want to have it so that like this zone of it looks like it's a little bit more distant than here, you know. So we'll get to there as well. Oh, from Halo. Gotcha. Okay. I've never played Halo, so here for the moment. Just wanted to say I'm loving how this is coming out. Seth says it looks like an ancient golem to him. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm kind of excited to see what I can do with this thing. I'm hoping that I don't screw it up too much. Okay, so at this point, I want to add kind of like, again, kind of more of those post-apocalyptic kind of an element to it. So I'm kind of wondering how I can go about doing that. I want to like add maybe a couple of elements over here on this side of things that are going to like give that feeling like there's like an abandonment to it. And so kind of wondering how to bring that about. I could do it on this side because there is a fair amount of blank space that's here, but I think this side right here needs a little something to it. So that's your childhood right there. Gotcha. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to go with the black color just so I can do a couple of silhouettes here and see what I can have come out. Make sure that I'm on actually a different layer just in case I need to delete the layer. That way I don't delete out what I've done with things so far. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's just draw some shapes. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's not going to take a whole lot more than that. Let me see then. Let's go with a different color. Kind of maybe a reddish color here. I do want to do, let's see. All right, actually, let me redraw it just a little bit here with the darker color, and I'll go with the harder edged. Looks like he's had a sad, rough life. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like what I'm trying to search for here. Yeah, Polygator. Hey, it's been a little while. How you doing? I have not seen you since nigh on a grasshopper's age. How you been doing? All right, so now I'm going to go into more of a reddish tone here. Still keep it really dark, but I'm going to do a reddish tone here. Is that the Robin Baker? There is only one Robin Baker. This is what it looks like when your player character does a much needed short rest. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to go with a little bit of a lighter red tone. I'm trying to give it an appearance of kind of like maybe a rusted sort of a texture here. Like I want it to be like rusted, metallic kind of a thing here. So bear in mind that distance is going to mean that there is more of a mistiness between you and the object, you know, between the camera and the object. So I don't want to like give a super amount of color to the one that's here because I want to give that the appearance that it's further back into the background a little bit. And I'll make sure to kind of like accommodate for that as we go along here too. So Oh, Robin, you have some fame. Or is that infamy? I'd say knowing Robin as my sister, there's probably some infamy there. Okay, so I'm going to move on from this. This is a good like basis for me to start working with it. You know what I mean? But I do want to start a little bit of things with this bot here, you know, this being that we have here, and kind of run with it from here to see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start like texturing a little bit of ambient light into it to kind of give like more of an appearance of who and what this thing is. So, yeah, we'll run with it from here and see what occurs. I don't know what's going to end up happening from here, but you know, the journey should be interesting, right? That's kind of the idea. You want to have an interesting little journey. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we can do. All right. I know these are really bright white right now. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of that. Okay, so I have these laid out. I'm going to make them so that they are all on one layer. Or at least they should be. I might have to layer them into one group. I don't know. Sometimes with the ellipse tool, it's a little funky. Nope, don't want to do that. What'd you do here? What have you done? Oh, okay, they are all on one layer. Never mind. I got it all. Okay. I'm going to grab a drink here real quick. So how's everybody doing tonight? What you guys up to? How's things? Do tell, do tell. I want all the juicy gossip. Smugsy, tell me all about the juicy gossip about my sister Robin. West Coasters, huh? Okay, so now that I have these kind of like ellipses drawn out, what I can do is I can deselect this layer, and then I can hold down Control and I can click on the layer itself, and that will allow me to select all of the pixels that are on that layer, right? I don't want those things to just be straight white, right? Because that wouldn't be looking good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of the pixels that are on that layer, and then I'm going to go into a regular brush tool, and I can then use that from there to like start building a better appearance out of those circular appearances or things, you know what I mean? So let me work with that and see what I can do here. Also, one trick with Photoshop, if you have things selected but you don't want the selection ants to show up, you can hold down Control and hit H. That was totally not the H button. Hold down Control and hit H, and it will actually cause them to fade away. What the crap did I do here? There we go. Okay. I screw up a lot, I'll tell you. Well, all right. So let me go to the brush, and I will do 20% opacity is fine, and we'll do color dodge. Sure, that'll work. Well, no, let's do normal. Let's do normal. And I'm going to do like kind of a grayish sort of a color here. Oh, that's cool, lady. Lurk all you want. Lurk all you want. I'm grateful to have you here nonetheless. And hopefully you're enjoying yourself, enjoying the music that's playing here. A little bit of, softy kind of things and the conversation. I'm just kind of like being my weird self and trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here, because quite frankly, I don't have a clue. Right. So you see, this is like just kind of a way to help you build different shapes and that kind of thing that are a little bit more under your control. And, make it look kind of cool. You can get some really cool effects by doing these little things where you're just doing the singular selections of a single space, and you can get that kind of like more hard edged sort of looks to different things. This is really useful for like building up armor and that kind of stuff. You can kind of make it look kind of wicked cool, really. New to home ownership chores today. Oh, well, hey, congratulations on the new home, for sure. Is it one that you bought, or are you renting? Oh, wait, you said new home ownership. Never mind. Duh. Either way, congratulations. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. It's a 1949 home that has had multiple updates and add-ons. So I'm learning some handy fixy stuff with my partner. He's not inherently handy, nor am I. It's been interesting. You know what? Actually, it's kind of cool that things like that can occur. You know what I mean? That's an adventure right there. That's an adventure. However, I'm going to play you a sound file from a particular movie, and I'm going to have you guys see if you can guess it, because it is totally in relation to exactly home ownership, especially first-time home ownership. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here you go. If you guys know where that's from, you're awesome. Basic fixie knowledge, but very limited. Yeah. It's cool though. It's cool. Being able to like figure out stuff, like that is really, it's cool, and it's an adventure. It really is. Is he going to be okay? Well, if you know where that movie comes from, you know that the guy definitely was not okay. That's from The Money Pit. That was actually Tom Hanks just kind of like barreling out this laugh during the scene. And it's great. It's a great movie. It's hilarious. Yeah, if you've never seen the movie before, definitely recommend it. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hysterical. Well, hello, the Waifling. It's about time. Sheesh. Only been here forever, you know. How did the Magic Get the Gathering session go? Did you kick his butt? You beat Seth both times. Well, I guess that's good. You have emerged victorious and brought honor upon your husband's life. Something? I don't know. You know, all that kind of weird stuff.
Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you.
So right now I'm just trying to build up on the depth of the figure a little bit here, to bring him, you know, a little bit more of a three-dimensionality here. Okay, so let me let my hands rest here for a moment. Had to grab my howling, snarling cat who just met the grand dog. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. The meeting of the minds took place, and it was not a good summit, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now that I have a couple of things laid out as far as like the depth of things goes, I'm going to try to work on giving this much more of a machinery type of a feel to it. So bear with me as I try to get things figured out of like what might be the best fits to go into here. So I need to kind of search through my drive here a little bit. I know I have things, and I'm not sure where those things are stored. In here? Maybe. Nope. Nope. This is not the directory I'm looking for. This is not the directory you were looking for. Still sort of lurking. This is really coming out good. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's looking a little bit like hell at the moment, but I'm working on it. I'm trying. Maybe this. Yes. Here we go. This is the more appropriate directory to look in. Okay. Come on, Ari, you can do this. Impress the people. Make them desire more. Desire. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. All right. So let me see if I can make this come out as I would like it to. We shall see. Come on, Windows, quit making them a little dingy sound. All right, then go ahead and do this. I will do the mask, and I will draw away most of this. Let me go with 100% opacity here. All right, then I will switch it, take it back to the 100%, or take it back to the 20% opacity. Quit making the dinging sound. Damn Windows. Okay, there we go. Good start. Good start. We'll go from here. Okay. Yeah, I once in on my shenanigans for sure. Now, I want to give this more of a kind of a, again, deadened sort of a feel to it. So let's see what I can do about that. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Let me see. Let me go ahead and delete that layer. Oop, what the heck did I do? Okay, there we go. Wrong buttons, Ira. Wrong buttons. Bad boy. All right. I'm going to do things a little bit differently here. I'm going to let me set this over here. I'm going to still keep it that large size, but I'm going to make it into pretty much a big mask. Why is this not working? Sudden things are sudden. Brush tool is being a pain. Come on now. Oh, I see. It's because it set it to being a really, really, really huge size. That's the problem. Did it? No? What are you doing, computer? Talk to me. Talk to me, computer. What are you on about here? Yeah, see, it's not letting me draw all of a sudden for some reason. Okay, tell you what, let me save the program here real quick. Let me save the progress. Come on, type correctly. There you go. I see what it is. Somehow the caps lock got pushed. And so it was, yeah, it's over me ignoring it. Caps lock got pushed, which completely screwed up the whole brush mechanic and all that kind of stuff. All right. We'll get it from there. Okay, so once again, I'm going to bring this in. It's going to be set like this, and then I'm going to turn on the layer mask, and the brush should be at 100% opacity, and now we can set the brush size really, really big, and we can erase it all out. Right? Yes. Okay. So, what a pain in the yarbles, I tell you. Okay. So then I'm going to just bring back that little bit of rusted thing that I had going on there, just to basically make it easier on me to work with it here. So all that being said, now let me create another new layer. This time around, I'm going to use the clone tool, the clone stamp right there. We've got it set to 20% opacity. That's fine. And I'm going to just select a bit of an area with the rust on it. Okay. So, yeah, right there. I'll go back to there. And now I should be able to like just paint in a little bit of the rustiness in here. It still seems a little bit too bright, though. I'll handle it in post. What the crap happened there? Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this layer out then, now that I'm kind of done with it and given the rusted sort of a appearance to it. And then I'm going to like adjust this section here to make it maybe look a little bit better, kind of blending it a little bit better. He needs a mother. Yeah, probably. Ooh, okay, yeah. See, that one doesn't look too bad like that. Okay, I think probably overlay is going to look the best overall. So we'll just work from here and we'll see what happens. Do kind of want to add a little bit of coloring in here. So I'm going to change things up just a little bit. I'm going to go with like a darker kind of a blue color. I'm going to see if I can get that to work correctly here. I don't know. We'll see what happens together, right? Woo, that was way too rough. Forgot to change the opacity. I'm also going to go with a softer brush just to help it blend a little bit better too. Yeah, it's still a little bit too bright. Let's see. Yeah, just kind of like giving that little bit of a bluish tinge to it so that it's got like more of that appearance, like it's a little bit of a metallic structure, I guess. Giving it a whirl anyway. Okay, so now what I need to do is do a little bit more as far as like the highlights and shadows and stuff goes. So far I think is looking okay, you know. So one little hint that I'll give to people, and this is kind of in regards to any kind of art that you want to have a realistic sort of appearance to it. Maybe it is a depressed mother. Yes, you could be absolutely right there, Jolene. When it comes to shadows, unless there is an absence of light completely, shadows are actually a color, but they're a very heavily saturated color. So if you want your shadowed areas to appear a little bit more punchy for people, you can kind of make them on an off-kilter color that's just very dark and saturated, right? And the same kind of like goes for highlights on the opposite side of the spectrum. Highlights have less saturation to them. They are less colorful, you know? So just kind of like a way to keep things in mind if you want to give the appearance of more realism, quote unquote, then, you know, you can kind of make use of how light and shadows actually work, you know, to give it that appearance, you see. So what I'm going to try to do, again, because we've got like this yellowish tinged sky thing going on here, what we can try to do is the shadowed areas go with an opposite, you know, opposing kind of a color to darken the areas. So what I can do is maybe kind of, again, a bluish, purplish kind of a tinge. And we can try it and we'll see what happens. I've got the layer itself set on multiply, and I've got the brush set on multiply, and we should be able to work out from here, you know, some kind of decent shadowing, I guess. All right, that's not too bad. Let me switch it up though to do it into normal mode, and we'll see how that looks. Yeah, I think it actually looks a little bit better with normal mode. Why don't we do that? So I'll just go ahead and delete that layer, and I'll start a new layer, and we'll kind of work it from here. Did I delete the wrong layer? There it is. Okay. There we go. So you see how it kind of like really adds to the effect if it's got that little bit of a bluish purple tinge to it, you see? Okay. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the hard brush here. I'm going to just kind of like add a couple of little bits and bobs here and there to kind of, again, give it more of a machine appearance, I guess you could say. Thank you, guys. I'm trying. This music's kind of appropriate for what I'm working on here. It's almost like I didn't choose it at random. Okay, so what I want to do now is start kind of like giving this whole thing like something to help bring it together. And I think what is going to work is like, okay, let's say, for instance, in a post-apocalyptic situation where this kind of like dead robot is going to be sitting here, right? What's going to be the most likely thing to happen? Well, nature is going to start trying to take it over, right? So what we can do to help kind of like simulate that is, you know, add a little bit of foliage to the area to start bringing out like this dichotomy between, you know, life and death and so on and so forth. Give the scene that much more of a little bit of a dramatic kind of a punch, right? So I have a couple of ways that I can do that. So let me see what I can do to work this out. Just so that I don't have to work super hard at making it happen. You know what I mean? So I do have like some kind of foliage brushes that I can make use of here that can perhaps help out the situation. We can run with it from there. Right? Yeah, exactly. Something along those lines, you know? Let's see. Yeah, we can try this one out. I'll see how this one does. I don't honestly know. I'm going to set it to dark though, just so that we can work it. Just trying to take a look at it and see how it is. This one's a little bit random, I think. I'll run with it. If I'm gentle with it, it should be okay. Okay, that's a good start. Okay, let's see. What else do I have that I can work with? This is a very weird song. Let's see. How's this one? Oh, that's not bad. We can maybe use that. We can try it. Right. That's what I'm going to be ending up going with. Yeah. Right now, I'm just kind of like more silhouetting just to get an idea of what I need to go with here. Right, so this is something that you guys can do. You can kind of like combine brushes together to sort of give like a different feel for things, you know, a different kind of a textured effect for, you know, what you're doing, right? And right now I'm working in black again, just to give like the shadowed, you know, silhouetted kind of an appearance for right now. And I'm trying to consider like how ivied plants would grow, right? So ivied plants kind of like they grab hold of whatever they can, and they're either going to grow up or they're going to start hanging down depending on like where they've gripped, you know. They're going to crawl their way around every dang thing that you have around, you know. They really love to do that. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to think of is, you know, how is kind of like an ivied sort of a plant, because that's kind of the thought that I wanted to go with this one. Right. Okay. So then what I can do is I can start doing the same kind of thing, right? But I can also start like adding in a little bit of coloring texture to it as well. Let's go with a little bit lighter first, or a little bit darker first, and then we can build up from there. Right, there we go. It's a good start. And then I can kind of like go up on the green a little bit and maybe towards the yellow, you know, for reflecting what the ambient light's doing. little bit further, actually. That's a little too far. Right, that's not looking too bad, right, guys? I don't know. What do you think? Thank you, guys. I appreciate the feedback. I'm a little unsure on it, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm going to keep going with it. Okay, let me see what else I can work with here. That was maybe a little too bright. Hey S19, how you doing? The condom from my microphone fell off again. I gotta put it back on. Okay, I need to sit back for a moment and let my hand rest. I've been kind of at this for a while. I'm digging how it's coming out. I'm kind of liking it. It's been a long time since I've done a machine piece, so a little bit unsure about it, but yeah. It's got kind of a nice like machine, but yet kind of like organic kind of a feel to it with the way that the critter has appeared, you know, kind of a mixture of both, like kind of maybe a machine that's more based on the idea of, you know, being an organic kind of a being, you know. Yeah, I'm doing good, X19. It's been an interesting day today, but I think overall it's been really good. Just kind of working with this and hoping that everything turns out okay. But yeah, I think so far it's okay. So the next steps that I want to do, I've got like this organic kind of a feel going on with the robot itself here. Yeah, well, it's a pop filter, so I always call it my condom, you know. Why? Because it protects me from moisture and all that kind of stuff, keeps it from getting into the microphone. But anyways, to kind of bring things together, I want to make sure that I also focus some of the foliage kind of stuff on, you know, the other areas. So I'm gonna like do some of it here on this little background area where the kind of rusted looking stuff is appearing right here. I do kind of want to do a little bit more with this section too, to make it give, you know, more of a punchy, you know, this is a something kind of a feel to it. I'm just not sure exactly what. I've got a couple of ideas mayhap that I can run with. I don't know. Let's see. Indeed. It's always important. Learned that from the radio days, my friends. I have a bucket. Okay, so let me Let me see what I can do to maneuver this thing around a little bit. Put it on his head. It could work. All right, I'm going to set it to 100% opacity so that I can get the full effect of the brush here. And I'm going to go with a regular brush. Yeah, let's go with a hard brush here. I need to make sure it's on the right setting. There we go. Okay, now I can use the same kind of brush to bring back the texturing slowly. Slowly, my friends. Yeah, that's not too bad looking. That's not too bad looking. Not for being a bucket, right? You would never know that it was a bucket, but it was a bucket all along. I hate it when I make a selection on the brush and then it like just disappears. You know, I've never seen that movie. I've wanted to, but I have yet to see that one. Why is this brush not showing up? Oh, I see why. Because I toop it. Okay. So that brush did not work out how I wanted it to. So I'm going to do a different style. Yeah, we can try this one, see what this one does. Been playing Splitgate lately. I'm good at it. Kind of want to go pro. Hey, that's awesome. That'd be really cool. Good luck for sure with it. I would love to see you make something of yourself with it. That's awesome. Congratulations. As you guys know, I don't do PvP games. I am literally at a handicap disadvantage with things, so I just don't do it. Not that I would mind doing it, you know, but yeah, it's not for me. That's cool. That's very cool. It's good to find people to you know, do it with. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that little bit of foliage brush so that I can finish up doing the sideline touches here. If I can spell it correctly, my keyboard is like not sitting where I normally have it sitting. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So again, these are kind of like further in the distance, right? I don't want them to be like the same tone level as these are. So I'm going to color it in, but then I'm going to add a little bit of like mist to the area. So, right, Smugsley? Yeah, that's pretty much how it is with me too. I dig this little song. This one's kind of cute. Battlefield, or is that Battlefront or Battlefield 3 and 4? I'm thinking Battlefield, right? Because Battlefront's the Star Wars games, right? Just trying to make sure I get it correct. Field, okay. Pardon my ignorance. Okay, so again, when it comes to like doing things with your paintings, remember that the more distant things are, the more atmosphere is going to be between the camera and it. So because there's atmosphere, there is the effect of the density is going to interfere with the scattering of photons that are coming from that object into your eyeballs. So to give the effect of distance, the best thing to do is to add in like a mistiness between the distant objects. And the more distant it is, the more mistiness there's going to be. So something to bear in mind, you know. I've tried Star Wars Battlefront a couple of times and did not do very well with it. But it was fun to try it. Right, so you see right there how let me like turn that layer off. So this is how I had it, right? And it looks like from appearance, it's at basically the same like level as the creature is, right? But by adding in that little bit of mistiness that's of the same color scheme as, you know, the atmosphere going on, now it looks a lot more distant, you see. And I can do the same thing with this deal down here as well. So just something to bear in mind, you know, if you want to add in that kind of more realistic touch, then that's something that you guys can do. Okay, so now it's kind of a matter of cleaning up the atmosphere, cleaning up the distances and that kind of stuff, and you know, kind of adding the cloudy effects and sort of thing. Right. So we want to have it so that the sunlight area is definitely more like right here, you know? So we're going to kind of tone down the color in that zone to help kind of balance it out a little bit. Okay. Now, here's where things are going to get a little interesting, because this is where things come into play that we are going to like play around a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to go into linear dodge on the layer. I'm also going to set linear dodge on the brush itself. I'm going to make sure that the size of this brush is pretty big, pretty decent sized. I'm going to select the same color that the background, like, brightest area is going to be, which is going to be this area right here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to simulate that the light is kind of like coming really harshly from the background here. So let's see what happens with that. Okay, so that did okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to erase back from the center area of the creature here. Just to again kind of give the appearance that, oh, this is like directly back here. You see what I mean? But it gives it that kind of like washed out feel, coming from the edge work, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into normal mode on the brush. I'm going to come down with the opacity quite a bit. We're going to go with a darker color. Again, kind of that bluish purple color maybe. And just kind of like remix in some shadows where it would be appropriate for them to be at this point.
Nothing ever comes to me, yeah, in a steady stream. But you gotta keep on going. You gotta live that dream. I know I ain't supposed to feel it, but oh, how it feels.
Right, and then I'm going to go with a black just to do the edges directly because that's where the least light is going to be. Just to again give it that appearance of depth going on in the shadows, you see. Okay, gonna sit back for a second here. Let my eye rest, because at this point it's starting to kind of water a little bit up on me here, so just gonna let it rest for a second. I can tell I'm kind of pushing myself a little bit, so. Oh, Smugsy, I didn't even see that you were asking about non-PvP games that I play. I'm sorry about that. I missed that message completely. So, some of my favorite games are, oh, this is a song that I made, actually. Kind of a weird one. Some of my favorite games are like Fallout, the Fallout games, the whole Fallout universe. I'm totally into, love it. So I've done a lot of Fallout 76, for instance. I've got over 2,000 hours played in that game. Star Trek Online I play a lot of. Star Wars Online, Star Wars The Old Republic, Star Wars Galaxies. I started off with MMOs with the granddaddy of them all back with Ultima Online and played that game for 8 years pretty steady. Probably a good 10,000 hours played in that game at least. Yeah, I've got a lot of time on my hands. Software Incorporated, This Land Is My Land. Trying to think of ones that I've been into of late. I mean, I've played a crap ton of different games. I actually, believe it or not, I actually own, gosh, what was it? I think that I figured it up one time. I own like 5% of all the games that are on Steam as of 2 years ago. Because Steam put out information that they have about 50,000 games on their servers at this point in time, if I remember right. And I've got like over 1,000 games, so you know it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I've played a lot. Simulation games, management games, some FPS games. If they're non-PvP, FPS games I can get into, but PvP games, you know, it's just not fair to me to play it, so. So, I don't know, guys. I think this is looking pretty good for what it is. You know, for doing a couple hours worth of work, I could probably put another couple hours into it and get a lot more like detailing and that kind of thing done. But, you know, as it stands, I think that it's okay. Warframe I've actually played quite a bit of too. I think I've got about 200 or 300 hours played in that game so far. I've got quite a few of the frames, but I haven't messed with that game for quite a while. I probably need to go back to it a little bit. I did play it on stream one night for a short period of time. I think I got like 3 hours worth of playtime in it or something like that, but for that stream. But I do think at this stage of things, for me, at least right now, it's what I would call like thumbnail complete. Okay. So my eye is starting to bug me a little bit, unfortunately. And I know that from experience, I should give it a little bit of a rest, or it's going to go into a high drop, which is a blister that appears on my eye. Where fluid from the inside of my eye leaks out onto my cornea, and it starts a big process of a blister, and it feels like you basically have a stone in your eye all the time when that happens. So I think for right now, I'm going to do what I usually do when I'm kind of thumbnail complete with things, which is to, you know, every artist needs to put their little thumbnail on it, right? So we'll do that. There we go. And I think that for right now, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. And I want to make sure to say a big, deep thank you for all of you guys being here with me. This may have pushed me over to become affiliate, actually. And that I am seriously super hoping that is the case, because I am desperately trying to get into affiliate. And I am this close to it, my friends. This freaking close to it. So I do think that it might be pushing me over. So if so, I am going to be like singing your guys' praises for being here with me. But that being said, let's raid somebody, because we can do that. I'm getting used to it now. I'm getting used to the fact that we can raid somebody, right? So I'm going to raid somebody, and I'm going to raid somebody that is just, they're a really nice person. They're really cool. I ran across them a few days ago, and I think that you guys will really enjoy it. They're right now playing Diablo 3, which is a game that I've put a hell of a lot of hours into. So, yeah, let's go over and visit Beauty of Nightmares, shall we? If I can spell their name correctly. Yeah, there we go. Indeed. All right. So in the meantime, keep safe out there, guys. Have fun. Thank you so much as always for being here. And I'll be back again tomorrow for sure. 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. I'll talk to you again soon.
Incoming customer detected.
Keep your eyes open, boys.
We need to have a serious talk!
Your way, love.